Okay, Bismillah. Hi guys, this is a fun video that I'm doing from a bunch of questions that a lot of people that I know have asked me, and it's just funny that there's a whole Huffington Post article about the 8 most annoying questions that mixed race couples are tired of hearing. It's funny because I grew up around a whole huge bunch of mixed race couples, like all my best friends, half Jamaican, half Pakistani, half English, half Algerian, whatever. Like literally, I really, yeah, I struggle to think of people that were just pure one ethnicity. Even in my family, we have like Shias marrying Sunnis, my grandparents, and like all kinds of stuff. So it's just the way we are, I guess. But and the kind of people we tend to associate with. But it's just funny because yeah, I asked these questions to those people as well, and now that I look back on it, they were really patient with me. So it's all that, and yeah, I have a whole bunch of friends who this applies to, and I'd love to hear what their ideas are about these questions and how they would answer them. So let's see. The first question is, not showing up. Here it is. How do your family feel about your partner's race? There are two answers to this. Well, initially they were in a bit of a state of shock, but I think kind of because over the last few years they knew that my best friends growing up were, like I said, half Jamaican, and a lot of my friends are Nigerian, Somali, Sudanese, so they knew that I was kind of used to hanging out with that side of the world more than I would hang out with my desi side of the world. So I don't know why, I just tended to associate with them more. And they were cooler anyway. But yeah, my parents were kind of used to it, but people that we talked to that were our extended family, when my parents said, yeah, we're going to Senegal for her wedding, my family were like, you're going where? West Africa. Huh? Yeah. It's just like, they basically didn't even know it was a place. And yeah, the typical desi comments, but they slowly got around to it. My family is way better than most. Like I said, we're used to it. It's stuff that's totally normal in our household. My grandfather is Pashtun, but my grandmother's Gujarati. Like, how does that happen? But it happened, so they're used to it. So it was better than most. But I have yet to meet my extended family with my husband, like going to Pakistan. I'm sure I'll have a video to share after that. But in general, I've noticed that our generation has it way better off in terms of our parents being way more Islamic, and they understand, that it's not about what's on the outside, but it's hard enough to find a decent person nowadays. So it's about what's on the inside that counts. And I was lucky enough to have a husband that as well. So the next question. You're dating a West African. Are you worried about their stereotypes? I was initially, but if you can see that the person isn't weighed down by those stereotypes, then that helps you to feel so much better. And like, why would you worry about a stereotype? If the person is all about being themselves, then they don't fall into any stereotype. And please, it's not like we don't get our fair share of stereotypes. So, hey, what's new? Yeah, no, I don't care about stereotypes. Wouldn't it just be easier to marry a Pakistani /Pathan? No, it would not. I don't think I could actually physically imagine a reality where I could marry a desi, particularly in my case because, yeah, I haven't really spent much time with them. And desi families are, I just like to do everything that desis don't do. So if an auntie has an expectation, I will do everything to just be like, why are we following culture over religion? Blah, 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 blah. And you just don't want to start all of that in your in-laws' house. And if you marry a Pakistani, you're basically marrying their family. So you have to make sure that you are on amazing terms with his parents, and you do everything that his parents say. You keep his sister happy, you keep their brothers happy, you keep their grandparents happy. It's just way too much drama. It's like, there's so much stuff in the desi community that needs to be fixed, and there's so many expectations that they have of women that are so messed up. I realized that West Africans have a 10 times better, way better approach to women when I started praying Jummah at a West African mosque in Homerton in East London. The Imam used to actually do the adhan on the women's side, and he used to start off the salah by giving sweets, and he used to end it by giving like fruit or drinks. And he always used to start at the women's side because the kids were there. And they only had a curtain separating the men and women, and the kids were allowed to run between their mum and their dad. It was just such an incredible atmosphere. And I experienced exactly the same thing in Senegal, where there were old, ancient cities that we went to that were strongholds of Sufism and the Maliki fiqh, where people would just pray Salah, Fajr Salah, for example, and there were rows of women in Fajr Salah, and they were right behind the Imam. Like, there's the Imam, there's the men's rows, and they're just filing the back of the room. No segregation of an abnormal amount, which is only in the Desi community, to be honest. And yeah, that's it. Just an easygoing approach to life, like, which I haven't seen in Pakistani families. So why would I want to do that to myself? I don't know. Yeah, it would never be easy for me to marry a Pakistani. Think about my children. Won't they be bullied? Actually, the wider your gene pool is, the more gorgeous your kids are going to be. And I'm looking forward to my kids being absolutely beautiful. Why would they be bullied if they're absolutely beautiful and genius and incredible and talented and really good at sport? Because, yeah, there's another stereotype. When I went to the beaches in Senegal, every single person was doing sport. Every single person was working out. And it felt like I was in like a training ground for the army. Like, the entire beach from dawn till dusk is full of guys just working out. So yeah, I can look forward to my kids being very, very socially accepted for those reasons. Do you only take interest in West African men? Wider. All of Africa. Well, they're just all West Africans in general. Yeah, they're just cooler. Can you be racist against your own kind? I don't know. No, Pathans are awesome. I really like Pathans. No comment on the Desis though. Can you find me a West African husband? Yeah, a lot of my friends have asked me that. Only if you're willing to move back to Senegal, by the way. Then drop me a line. Don't you get frustrated not being able to express yourself in your own language? Well, my parents didn't teach me a word of Pashto apart from Daldarasha and Zoe and the Pashtun Madam. So I really can't express myself in that language anyway. And yeah, I will have to learn French and Fula and Wolof at some point in my life. Do people stare at you when you go out with your husband? No, but they find it very difficult to register in their heads that we're married, so I guess that's kind of like staring. People stare at me anyway, so I don't care. But in general, the staring, but they do find it difficult to guess that we're married, yeah. Like, just this week when my husband had to reiterate to a lady that was speaking to me like 10 times that he's my husband before she got it. And she was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Maybe that's because he looks pretty young, or I look pretty young, too young to be married, whatever. But yeah, it's fun. So that was fun. And the reason, and why is it that I insisted on marrying somebody that's not Pakistani? Well, another reason is growing up. Actually, I was really, like I said, I had a bunch of best friends, people that I love. Shout out to you guys, you know who you are, my biggest fans. People that I absolutely love who are from every part of the world, and they looked like, I used to call them science experiments, which is really mean, but, it was just a kind of jab that we used to have at each other. Hey, you guys used to call me way worse, so let's not go there. But, I spent a huge part of high school or secondary school, whatever, defending my friends against absolutely thick-headed Pakistani boys that would say the stupidest stuff. And now that my friends are getting married, it's the same. Alhamdulillah, they've found, some of them have found incredible husbands, and some of them, but the process of, the marriage process, when you go through, it's just like you have to hear all this kind of ignorant retardedness from the desi community, and no other community in particular. Like when I got married in Senegal, I'm not Senegalese, but nobody felt the need to rub my racial origin or my skin color in my face. And alhamdulillah, my parents are not as ignorant to do that to anybody else either, because they were treated like absolute royalty over there. Just given good Islamic adab, and Afghans are known to give really good Islamic adab too. So us Afghans showed up and did and behaved nicely as well. But like the point is yeah, I grew up in a community where everybody expected, like when some of my mum's friends would think of guys that I might be interested in, to suggest to my mum that one Pakistani, they'd think 100 times and be like, would you marry somebody that's from this part of the world? And my mum would be like, yeah, that's actually her preference, because all of her friends are like that. But she was rare in that, and part of me actually wanted to let people know that yeah, we do this, and it's not a big deal, and actually, not all of us are as ignorant and stupid and making life difficult for everyone, as some people I know have had family members that stopped speaking to them for years just because of this one decision, that they fell in love with someone and they married someone they love. I mean, what I think of that, and if I think that they should go ahead and marry someone because if it would damage and destroy their family, is another video altogether. But just the idea that people can do that to each other, like I know a whole bunch of people who are so heartbroken because their families just aren't open, as blessed as I am to have my family being as open as they are. So, you know, it's sad, really, and especially considering the fact that your kids are way more likely to not have all these weird genetic mutations because you keep marrying into the same family. Like, it's an instruction in the Quran, and we all know the stuff that different nations and tribes get to know each other, step out of the bounds of your own back garden, embrace humanity, and it, I just love the look of mixed race kids anyway. So it's all good. And that's from me.